Chapter 2271. Despicable. Only a despicable person like you would think of something so despicable. Qi Ning glared at him. Then, the two went back to the lounge to get changed. Just then Zhixin walked out of the bathroom, limp and exhausted. His face was pale. "Hey bro, where were you? The wedding is over and you're only coming out now?" Tang Chuan teased him. "Don't mention it, I don't know what I ate, but I had diarrhea a dozen times. My legs are weak." "But what did you just say? The wedding is over?" "What should I do? I'm the best man." Zhixin's face paled. "Don't worry, I was your substitute." Tang Chuan patted Zhixin's shoulder in all seriousness. "You scared me to death, I thought I screwed up." "Thank you, big brother Chuan." Zhixin, an honest kid, didn't know what happened and was still thanking Tang Chuan. "It's okay, don't mention it, we're all buddies. Then you guys go get changed, I'll go take a look." Zhixin held his stomach and walked out. Tang Chuan smiled proudly. Qi Ning glanced at him. "Little Chuan, can you be any more shameless?" "How am I shameless? You drugged him and made him unable to be the best man, and now you're here pretending to be a virgin? How can you be so shameless?" "Let me correct you, I didn't drug him. That was sausage tea, it's good for health, got it? I was detoxifying Zhixin, okay? You're so shameless." Zhixin is such an honest kid. If only he had half of my sister-in-law's IQ. Then you wouldn't have bullied him. "I didn't bully him." "Ha, don't talk nonsense, little Ning. Plus, I did it for you." For some reason, Qi Ning blushed, even though she knew he was joking with Tang Chuan. "Ning, your face is so red." Tang Chuan looked down and carefully looked at Qi Ning. "Ahem, it's a bit hot in here, is the air conditioning too high?" Qi Ning purposely found an excuse. Tang Chuan turned around and looked at the air conditioner switch. "No, the air conditioner isn't on. Well, it's hot. If I say it's hot, then it's hot." Qi Ning corrected her. "You're right, it's hot. It's really hot. It's like the Sahara Desert. How about we take off our clothes and take a bath together?" Tang Chuan teased her on purpose. "Fuck off." Qi Ning was speechless. He picked up a pillow and threw it at Tang Chuan. Tang Chuan didn't even dodge. He caught the pillow with his bare hands and hugged it in his arms. "So, Ning, by giving me a pillow, are you hinting that I can sleep with you? Tang Chuan, come here. I want to see you." Qi Ning gritted her teeth and smiled. "Ha, don't go over there. You'll strangle me to death." Tang Chuan hid far away after saying that. "Hurry up and get out, I'm going to change." "Go ahead. I'll close my eyes." "No, only a ghost would believe you." Qi Ning was so angry that her face turned red. "You're wrong about that. Even a ghost wouldn't believe me." Tang Chuan continued to tease her. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. I'll go out. You can change on your own." After saying that, Tang Chuan was about to leave. Suddenly, he thought of something. He walked up to Qi Ning and pulled her zipper forcefully. With a rip, the zipper came down, exposing her entire back. "Tang Chuan, what are you doing?" Qi Ning was about to break down and screamed hysterically. Chapter 2272. Without any warning, he unzipped her dress. "Why are you so excited? If I don't help you, who'll help you when I get out? No need to thank me." Then, Tang Chuan ran away with a pillow. Qi Ning was about to get mad, but the door was already closed. In the end, she smiled helplessly and took off her dress. The banquet didn't end until 10 p.m. Huamin was annoyed by all the noise, so he hid on the balcony to enjoy the breeze. And walked over and stood behind him. President Hua. And had been Huamin's driver and bodyguard for 3 years, so they were very familiar with each other. "President Hua, President Su is drunk. Can you go see him?" Anne's voice was very low, as if he was begging Huamin. "Drunk?" Huamin was surprised. Su hadn't been drunk in a long time. Especially in a crowded place, he would try his best to stay calm. "Yeah, maybe he's hiding too many things in his heart." Today, he said it out loud, and guessed. "Where is he right now?" Huamin asked. "In the hallway behind the hotel." "Okay, I'll go see him." Since An said so, Huamin wouldn't feel at ease if he didn't go. She cared about Su Yu's feelings. Qin Chu held the twins' hands and continued to work in the hall. Huamin wore a dark blue dress and walked towards the hallway behind the hotel. Su Yu didn't drink that much. Maybe it was because he wasn't in a good mood, so he felt a little dizzy. Then, he hid here alone and looked at the snowy scenery. Yunding Mountain was covered in snow all year round. During the new year, the wind was bone-chilling. However, one could see the most beautiful snowy scenery and hanging trees. In the north, people called it the Holy Mountain. After Qin Chu returned to GK, he started building the most beautiful ski resort in the country. Therefore, Yunding Mountain became more and more prosperous. The local government even cooperated with GK to build an airport and bring tourists from all over the country to ski and soak in the hot springs. Su Yu stood in a good spot to look at the snow. He held a glass of champagne in his hand and stared into the distance. Huamin walked over and stopped beside him. "Can I have a sip of the champagne? I'm a little thirsty." Huamin smiled. Su Yu tilted his head and looked at Huamian with tenderness in his eyes. "But don't get drunk, Su. I wasn't the one who was drunk." Huamian corrected her. Su, you're so sober. It seems like you're not drunk, and is making a fuss over nothing." Huamin took a sip of the champagne. Huamin took small sips of the champagne. Her lips looked especially seductive under the reflection of the glass. Su Yu didn't know if he was really drunk or if he was delusional. For a moment he wanted to rush up and kiss her. However, a voice in his heart kept reminding him not to do that. Otherwise, he might not even be friends with her in the future. Su Yu was conflicted and tried his best to restrain himself. "What are you thinking about?" Huamin looked up and saw that Su Yu's gaze was a little strange. "No, nothing. I just thought what you said on stage was pretty good." I said it on the spot. I didn't prepare a script. What's so good about it? It's all the truth. It can't be shown on stage. Sometimes, the truth is the most heartwarming. And Yang is lucky to have a sister like you, Su Yu sighed. He's also lucky to have a boss like you. Huamin smiled. "Mia?" Su Yu said gently. "Yes. I suddenly have a crazy idea," Su Yu said slowly. "What idea?" Huamin looked at Su Yu's handsome side profile curiously. Chapter 2273. I land to be single for the rest of my life. After speaking, Su Yu let out a deep breath, as if a huge rock had been lifted from his heart. "Single for the rest of your life?" Huamin frowned slightly. "Guess that means I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. Isn't that awesome?" Su Yu smiled casually. But Huamin's face instantly fell, and his heart sank. Because there won't be another Huamin in this world. Su Yu looked at Huamin and said seriously. Huamin felt as if something was tugging at his heart. Then he looked at Su Yu and smiled, changing the topic. "I'm just kidding, don't be nervous, it has nothing to do with you. I'm used to being single, and I think this kind of life suits me. Actually, being married doesn't mean being happy, and being single doesn't mean being unlucky. Everyone has the right to choose their own way of life. When we were born, we were one person, and we can't leave at the same time, so when we leave, we'll still be alone. Living alone, as long as you have a good attitude, it's a kind of happiness. You're smart, you should understand what I mean." Su Yu rarely spoke so seriously. However, every time he spoke like this, Huamin's heart ached. "You're right, but Lord Su and the others." Huamin was worried about the Su family's feelings. "To be honest, Mian, I don't care so much. Sometimes, people think too much and carry too many things and responsibilities. That's why they're unhappy. I don't want to be that kind of person. Maybe you guys think that I'm selfish, that I only have myself in my heart. I really don't care so much. But you're the only heir of the Su family. If you don't continue the family line." Huamin wanted to say something, but he stopped. "Why are you as stubborn as my grandfather? What era are we living in? People in other countries don't care about these things, but we in China always want to continue the family line and have sons. But what happens after that? So what? Even if my generation is not broken, what about the next generation? How do you know that my children and grandchildren will have the same thoughts as me?" What if I meet someone who has the same thoughts as me in the future and doesn't want to get married and have children? So, don't think about it. It's meaningless. Su Yu waved his hand and smiled. I know I have no right to interfere with your thoughts, and I don't want to persuade you. I just want to say, fate is a wonderful thing. Some people come early, and some people come late. But in the end, there will be arrangements, so don't jump to conclusions too early. Maybe your other half is on the way. When you meet the one you really like, you won't be so free and easy. Really? Then I'll wait and see. In short, I'm enjoying this kind of life now. However, I have a small request that you have to promise me. Su Yu rarely acted like a spoiled child. Moreover, she was acting coquettishly in front of Huamin. This was the first time she had done so since they had known each other. Huamin suddenly felt that Lord Su's demeanor was very cute. Okay, what is it? If I'm really going to be alone in the future, can you let the twins be my goddaughters? If I'm old, there will be someone to take care of me. Don't leave me in a nursing home. That's so miserable. Ha, you're thinking too far ahead. Huamin laughed. You're still laughing. I'm talking about such a serious topic with you. Su Yu looked wronged. Chapter 2274. Okay, say I won't laugh. I promise you that even if we have a second or third child, they'll call you their godfather, okay? Don't worry, we'll make sure you have a lot of children. Huamin was just joking. However, Su Yu heard the key words. He stopped smiling and looked at Huamin seriously. You're planning to have a second child? So, are you pregnant? Su Yu's voice was very low. However, Huamin still heard it clearly. What are you thinking? I just said it casually. What pregnancy? Mr. Qin and I are very casual about having a second child. We'll let nature take its course. If it comes, we'll take it. If it doesn't, we won't force it. Huamin explained. Su Yu nodded. Just then, Huamin's phone rang. Okay, I'll be right there. After hanging up, Huamin smiled apologetically. Lord Su, we should go back. It's over. As the CEO of Imperial Star, you have to talk to the media about official matters. Mr. Qin is coaxing Pudding and Little Bean to sleep. You and I will be interviewed by the media for 15 minutes. Is that okay? No problem. Let's go. Then, Su Yu and Huamin came back from the corridor behind the hotel and were interviewed by the media in the lobby. When everything was over, it was already past 11 p.m. All the guests had left. For those who didn't, Huamin asked the hotel to arrange suites for them. Su Yu was going to leave, but it snowed in the middle of the night and the road was bad. Huamin tried his best to persuade him to stay and booked a presidential suite for him and Zhen. However, Tang Chuan shamelessly went to join in the fun. You're glowing these days. Su Yu looked at Tang Chuan. Yeah, I've been like this ever since Ningning came back. Then if she leaves again, will you still die? Su Yu choked him. I won't let her go. Even if she really leaves, I'll go with her. Tang Chuan made up his mind. Still going? Didn't you come back with your tail between your legs last time? You're really shameless, Master Tang. Su Yu gave him a thumbs up. It's useless to care about your face. The most important thing is to have a wife. No matter what Su Yu said, Tang Chuan wasn't angry. When Huamin returned, Qin Chu had just finished showering. Honey, are they asleep? Huamin whispered. Yes, they're all asleep. Qin Chu nodded while drying his hair with a towel. It was extremely tempting. Huamin ran over like a little bird and jumped into Mr. Qin's arms. What are you doing? Mr. Qin was shocked. Honey, thank you for your hard work. You're so thoughtful. Qin Chu looked down at Huamin with a smile. Of course, you're the hero this time. Your team came up with the wedding plan, you paid for the banquet, and you contacted the media. Anyways, everything went well. All I did was say a few words on stage. Honey, you're the best. Wow, Dr. Hua has grown up. He's thoughtful and knows how to suck up to his husband. He's becoming more and more like Little Bean, Qin Chu praised. I'm going to learn from Little Bean. Look at how popular she is. Although she's not as smart as her sister, she has a lot of connections. Everyone likes her. Huamin was full of pride when he talked about his two babies. Okay, go take a shower and rest early. You've had a long day, Xianxia said worriedly. I'll take a shower later, Huamin said with a red face. What are you going to do now? Xianxia froze and looked at Huamin's strange expression. Chapter 2275. Huamin didn't say anything. Xianxia immediately understood what she meant, and he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Dr. Hua, please, can you be more professional at a time like this? Am I not professional enough? Huamin didn't want to admit defeat. Honey? Mr. Qin asked subtly. Huamin nodded shyly. Yeah, I want a second child. She was even more subtle. Mr. Qin's lips curved up slightly as he lifted Huamian up. In order not to disturb the twins in the other room, Mr. Qin carried her into a bathroom that was a little further away. After a tiring day, only Xianxia and Huamian were still in the mood. Huamin laid on top of Xianxia, breathing heavily. Honey, yeah? Will you betray me? Why are you asking this? Xianxia reached out and gently caressed Huamin's face. I'm just worried that when I get older, you'll get tired of me and find a younger and prettier woman. Do you think I'm that kind of person? Mr. Qin asked. You're not, then you're right, don't think too much, that day won't come. Xianxia hugged Huamin tightly. He held her against his chest, as if he was afraid that he would lose her at any moment. Huamin didn't say anything. She leaned against Xianxia's chest and quietly enjoyed this beautiful moment. And Yang's wedding was over. Everyone returned to their normal lives. Qin Ning didn't want to go back to her normal life. Qin Ning was surprised that she wasn't planning to go back to the States. Xianxia's second uncle had called her several times to urge her to go back, but she was hesitant. Since Xianxia's parents moved back, Jixin and Yang Meng moved back to their old house at Sky Blessing Court. That way, they had a lot more freedom. In the morning, Xianxia and Huamin went to work. The twins began to turn the house upside down. Qin Ning put on some makeup, put on a pair of jeans, and an orange cashmere coat, and walked out. Auntie, you're dressed so flirtatiously, where are you going? Pudding stopped her, and there was still unfinished cream on the corner of her mouth. I'm going out for a walk. I'm bored with you two brats all day, Qin Ning said purposely. Pudding was sending a WeChat message. Auntie, you're really just going out for a walk? Aren't you going out with Uncle Tang? Of course not. Don't talk nonsense. Qin Ning suddenly felt guilty. Auntie, you've been glowing lately. Ever since you came back from Uncle and Yang's wedding, I've noticed something different about you. Hurry up and tell me the truth. Are you dating someone? Little Bean demanded. What do you mean? Is Ning Ning in a relationship? Old Madam Qin asked curiously when she heard her granddaughter's conversation. Auntie, it's nothing. Don't listen to Pudding and Little Bean, it's nothing. Then, Qin Ning ran out in a hurry. She didn't want to confront the twins anymore. If it's nothing, then what's going to happen? Is she going to come home with a big belly? Pudding sighed. Don't talk nonsense, Pudding, don't talk about Auntie like that. Mrs. Qin thought Pudding was being ridiculous and immediately stopped her. Then, Pudding walked over and sat down beside Pudding. Sis, do you think we should get involved in this matter? Pudding didn't even look at her. Chapter 2276. Should we tell Daddy and Mommy? Should we keep an eye on Auntie or something? You're overthinking it. It's impossible that Daddy and Mommy don't know about this. From what I see, Daddy trusts Uncle Tang's character, which is why he allowed him to be close to Auntie. Otherwise, with Daddy's personality, he would break someone's leg if they tried to do something to his sister. Pudding didn't think much of it. You're right. Pudding looked at her sister with admiration. When it came to analyzing situations and thinking logically, Pudding's brain worked faster than Pudding's. South Side Recuperation Center, Xianxia was on wedding leave and wasn't back yet. Huamin and his new assistant weren't familiar with each other yet, so he did most of the work himself. Vice Director Hua, someone's looking for you. Come in. Huamin was busy reviewing documents and didn't even look up. Then, she heard the office door being pushed open and footsteps coming in. Mian, Huamin looked up at the familiar voice. He was immediately overjoyed. Xiaoxiu? Huamin immediately stood up, walked out, and enthusiastically shook Wu Xiaoxue's hand. Long time no see. You're the vice director now. Wu Xiaoxue was wearing a dark blue coat and was dressed elegantly. Maybe it was because she stayed in the States for too long, but her aura changed drastically. Don't tease me. It's all because President Wu took care of me and promoted me. Huamin pulled over a chair for Wu Xiaoxue to sit down. Then he saw the man behind Wu Xiaoxue. It was Ning Ziyuan, holding his daughter's hand. Happy New Year, Huamin. Ning Ziyuan smiled. Happy New Year, Huamin nodded and smiled back. After Ning Ziyuan went to the States, Huamin never heard from him again. The only few times he had heard about him, it was from Director Wu, and he had always been very casual about it. She heard that the couple had opened a clinic there, specializing in treating the local Chinese. They were quite famous. Now that he saw Ning Ziyuan, it really felt like a lifetime had passed. His appearance did not change much, but his aura was indeed completely different. Ning Ziyuan was wearing a black cashmere coat, which was similar to Wu Xiaoxue's. It was simple and elegant. Around his neck was a classic Burberry scarf with silver-rimmed glasses. He looked very elegant. The scumbag temperament was completely gone. It had to be said that time and environment could really change a person completely. Ning Ziyuan was holding the hand of a little girl. She was already very tall and looked very similar to Ning Ziyuan. Huamin immediately squatted down and touched her little face. This is little Xianxia, right? She's so big already? Xianxia, call her Auntie Mian, Wu Xiaoxue said. Hello, Auntie Mian. The little girl's voice was sweet and adorable. Oh, that's great. Xianxia is already so tall. She's only a year older than our pudding and little bean, but she's much taller. Maybe it has to do with the environment there. The people there eat beef and milk, so they're very healthy. Many of my Chinese friends' children are also very well developed. Wu Xiaoxue smiled. When did you guys come back? Why didn't you call me? Huamin looked at Wu Xiaoxue warmly. We came back on the 29th and spent the new year with my parents and uncle. Uncle hasn't been very healthy these past few years, so we didn't want to torture him too much. Plus, Ziyuan's parents also missed their children. After the new year, we went back to Ziyuan's hometown. Didn't we just come back? Since you're already at work, we came to Southside to see you. I heard you gave birth to twin daughters. Congratulations. Ning Ziyuan looked at Huamin with a gentleness that hadn't been seen in a long time. Chapter 2277. Thank you. Huamin nodded at Ning Ziyuan. Although he was polite, his eyes were distant. Huamin felt like Ning Ziyuan was a lifetime ago. Plus, there wasn't much love or hate between them. Mian, where are the twins? Why don't we have dinner together? The baby went with her grandparents to visit some relatives of the Qin family. Unfortunately, Wu Xiaoxue didn't come at the right time and didn't see the twins. Oh, it's okay. Let's find a time to get together before we leave. We can have dinner together, Wu Xiaoxue suggested enthusiastically. Okay, let's contact each other on WeChat. Before they left, Huamin gave Wu Xianxia a red envelope of 6,600 yuan as a token of appreciation. Wu Xiaoxue and Huamin argued for a long time before she accepted the red envelope. Huamin was no longer in the mood to work. He suddenly remembered something from a long time ago. Back then, Wu Xiaoxue was at loggerheads with her because of Ning Ziyuan. She was negligent and almost caused the death of a pregnant woman. Huamin saved the pregnant woman out of kindness and caused a storm. Fortunately, Mr. Qin helped to clean up the mess. Thinking back, she never thought that she would be so close to Wu Xiaoxue one day, visiting each other like old friends. Thinking back, she never thought that she would be able to congratulate Ning Ziyuan one day with a smile. There was no emotion in her eyes. Thinking back, she never thought that one day, everything would be in the past. Everyone around her was just a passerby. Only Qin Chu stayed with her to this day, just like when they were young. He never left her. When they walked out of Southside Recuperation Center, Wu Xiaoxue held onto Ning Ziyuan's arm. Ning Ziyuan hugged Xianxia lovingly. The couple walked slowly and chatted as they walked. Xin, tell me the truth. You loved her, right? After hearing this, Ning Ziyuan was silent for a while. Then he nodded. Yes. Then why did you? Wu Xiaoxue didn't finish her sentence. You want to ask why I didn't give Huamian an explanation back then? If I didn't do what I did, someone like her wouldn't have left me so easily, even if it was out of responsibility, right? Ning Ziyuan finished Wu Xiaoxue's question for her. Yes. Now that I think about it, I was young and hot-blooded back then. There are some things that the more you like, the more you're afraid of losing. I knew that she had a boyfriend that she loved deeply overseas, and I knew that he was always in her heart. I also knew that I never entered her heart. So, when everything happened, I was so repulsed and hysterical. It all came from my lack of confidence in myself. I knew that I wasn't the man that Huamin liked. I was just a necessity for her to live an ordinary life. The moment Qinchu came back, I felt like I had returned to my rightful owner. So, I acted like a child and threw a tantrum and even acted like a rascal. You're pretty objective to judge yourself like that. Wu Xiaoxue tilted her head and smiled at Ning Ziyuan. Look at how old I am. So many things have happened over the years, it's time for me to move on. She has a kind heart and a strong soul. My family is a medical family, and my uncle and grandpa are both excellent doctors. They've always wanted me to do the best I can. Unfortunately, no matter how hard I try, I can't be like Huamin. She's the youngest vice director in the country. She's won so many international awards, I can only look up to her. Xian, don't you think I'm a failure? Wu Xiaoxue sighed. Chapter 2278. Ning Ziyuan looked at his wife gently and comforted her. Xiaoxue, everyone has their own destiny. You shouldn't compare yourself like this. Huamin is certainly outstanding, but you're not bad either. I think that anyone who works hard and believes in a good life is not bad. Oh, Dr. Ning actually knows how to use chicken soup for the soul. Wu Xiaoxue smiled coquettishly. Sometimes chicken soup needs to be nourished. The couple chatted and laughed as they left. Deputy Director Guo was getting busier and busier. He rarely came back to the south side. Every week, Huamin would host the general meeting. After the new year, she threw herself into her busy work. Although she was tired, she felt fulfilled. In the afternoon, after seeing patients, she prepared to organize the information. When she put her phone aside, she received a WeChat notification. She opened it and saw that it was indeed a WeChat group for her, Jiang Shaowei, and Zhu Lingling. Zhu Lingling, women, come out. Jiang Shaowei, Mrs. Director, please tell me what to do. Zhu Lingling, Dr. Jiang, don't mess around. Compared to a rich lady like you, my title as the director's wife is just an empty title. Huamin, it's the first month of the lunar year. Is it really okay for you two to kiss each other's ass on WeChat? Zhu Lingling, oh, it's not easy to get Deputy Director Hua to come out. Jiang Shaowei, Deputy Director Hua, you're not busy? Huamin, you two are really worrying. No matter how busy I am, I can't handle your continuous calls. Zhu Lingling, how about a family dinner this weekend? Jiang Shaowei, not bad, not bad. We haven't gotten together in a long time. Huamin, nonsense. Didn't we just get together on the 8th day of the lunar year at my brother and I Yang's wedding? Zhu Lingling, that doesn't count. There are too many people and it's too noisy. Why don't you guys come to my house? Although my house isn't a villa or a mansion and can't be compared to yours, the atmosphere at my house is warm and cozy. Then, we'll go grocery shopping in advance and each of us can make 4 specialties. How about that? Jiang Shaowei, forget about my signature dish. My husband said that it's a disaster for me to cook for him. Zhu Lingling, your husband is right. The memory of the cola chicken wings you made for us last time is still fresh in my mind. It makes me want to throw up whenever I see chicken wings. Huamin watched the conversation between Zhu Lingling and Jiang Shaowei and almost spat out the tea in his mouth. Jiang Shaowei, so, can't we have a nice chat? Zhu Lingling, of course. How about this? Mian and I will cook 6 dishes each, and we'll share your share. You can wash the vegetables and help us. What do you think? Jiang Shaowei, that's a good idea. Deal. Zhu Lingling, what about Vice Director Hua? Any questions? Huamin, is it a Sunday? No problem. Let's get together. It's been a while since we've had fun together. Zhu Lingling. Oh, then it's decided. Come to my house at 9 a.m. this weekend. Bring your family. I'll prepare all the vegetables and fruits. Then we'll have a good day and relax. After chatting with them on WeChat for a while, Huamin and the doctors began their ward rounds. After a round of rounds, Huamin saw that it was almost time to get off work. Then he began to tidy up his desk. Hua Xiqin came in at this time. He was very familiar with her new office. The moment he looked up and saw Hua Xiqin, Huamin frowned slightly. Are you going to ask me why I'm here? I even memorized your lines. Hua Xiqin looked at Huamin with a smile. I don't think you're welcome here, Huamin said bluntly. I know. Hua Xiqin nodded. Since you know your place, shouldn't you leave early? It's better for everyone. Huamin asked him to leave. I won't take up too much of your time. I came here to give you a New Year's gift. Then, Hua Xiqin picked up a big red brocade box with a red ribbon tied on it. Happy New Year, my Mion. Hua Xiqin smiled gently. Chapter 2279. Take it away. I don't care what it is, I don't want it, Huamin immediately refused. You can throw it away if you don't want it. It's up to me to give it to you. Mion, it's been too peaceful lately. I have a feeling that a storm is coming. Remember, no matter what happens, no matter what difficulties you face, I will always be by your side. I won't let anyone hurt you, Hua Xiqin said something very strange. Don't try to scare me. I won't believe you. I won't even believe a single word you say. Huamin was obviously prejudiced against Hua Xiqin. It's New Year, but you haven't grown up yet. You're still like a kid. But it's okay. I know you're getting off work, so I won't disturb you. I'm leaving. Hua Xiqin looked at Huamin with satisfaction and walked out. At the door, he suddenly remembered something. He stopped and turned around to look at Huamin. It's New Year's Eve. You must be happy, right? I heard Lu Yen is back. Hua Xiqian's words made Huamin's expression change drastically. Huamin wanted to say something, but he didn't know what to say. He was terrified. Don't look at me like that. Don't be afraid. Hua Xiqian smiled slightly. I know about your relationship with Ian. Are you going to tell him about Yan's whereabouts? Huamin regretted his words. He was too impatient. If Hua Xiqian was just trying to trick him, then he would have exposed Yan's whereabouts. My little sister sure knows a lot. Hua Xiqian continued to smile. Huamin stared into his eyes anxiously. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. What's between Lu Yen and Ian is their own business. Besides, Lu Yen always comes and goes in a hurry. Even if I tell Ian now, it's too late. I think she'll leave in less than 3 hours, right? Why didn't you tell Ian about my whereabouts? I heard that he's been looking for me all these years. Huamin suddenly thought of a very serious problem. Silly girl, how could you ask such a stupid question? It's so annoying and funny at the same time. Hua Xiqin looked at Huamin affectionately. I'm not going to discuss this with you. Remember, if you're in danger, I'll be more concerned and worried about you than Qin Chu. I'll be more willing to risk my life than he is. Hua Xiqin turned around after he finished speaking. Huamin was still feeling uneasy. She didn't know why, but every time she saw Hua Xiqin, she would feel uneasy. Especially when she thought about the possibility that he had another personality, she couldn't help but shudder. The red brocade box on the table was very eye-catching. Huamin opened it with her bare hands. Inside was a Chinese New Year's dress. It was a red Chinese cheongsam, but it had been modified and the sleeves were inlaid with pearls. It looked extremely elegant and luxurious. She didn't know what he was planning to give her this dress on New Year's Eve. Huamin didn't even think about it. She put the gift box away and sealed it in the cupboard under her office. She wouldn't wear anything Hua Xiqin gave her. But she also wouldn't throw it away. She didn't want to anger him and do something bad to Yen or the twins. Yunding Mountain Hotel, Cici and Rick were still here on vacation. After Ni Yang's wedding, everyone left. Only the two of them stayed. Cici liked this place because she liked the white snow. Rick, do you think I should change my name? Cece hugged Rick's neck coquettishly. What name? Rick was surprised. I won't be called Xianxia anymore. I'll be called Xiaoxue. I think it's better to call her Xiaoqian, Rick replied with a serious expression. Chapter 2280. Cece, your joke is so cold. Rick, I'm serious. Cece, just as Cece was about to speak, she heard a knock on the door. Rick turned around with a serious expression. Come in. Godfather, we really should go. There's some trouble in the States, Rick's subordinate said as he looked at Cece, treating her as a burden. I got it. You can leave now. Rick's expression was still indifferent. No one could tell if he was happy or angry. But, Godfather, we don't have much time left. If this goes on. Before the man could finish his words, he was kicked out by Rick. Get out. The man was so scared that he didn't dare to say another word. He immediately closed the door and retracted his head. Then, Cece bit her lips and sat beside Rick. She held his hand and said, Rick, you've been with me for a few days now. I know you're someone who's going to do great things. There's a lot of things waiting for you to do. So, don't stay with me all the time. Although I really want to be with you, I'm not an immature person. It's okay. Don't think too much. Rick held Cece's hand and comforted her gently. I don't want to be a burden to you, and I won't persuade you to quit like a saint. After all, you were born in that kind of environment. I know there are many things you can't do, and it's not easy for you to quit. So, if you're busy, go do what you have to do. As long as you have me in your heart, you can come back to see me when you miss me. Cece obviously didn't have much confidence in the latter part of her sentence. In fact, she was very afraid of being separated from Rick. They had been separated for more than 3 years, and it was long enough. She wanted to stay with him for even a moment. But she knew it was impossible and didn't want to put pressure on Rick. But your injuries haven't healed yet? Rick put his arm around Cece's shoulder and leaned against her, his heart aching. My injuries are fine now. Didn't Sister Mion say that I just need to rest in the future? It's okay. You just need to recover. Nothing else is important. Rick decided to prioritize Cece's injuries. During this period of time, he had stayed in the country for so long. Many things were remotely controlled by phone, but it was still not as convenient as being there in person. Therefore, there was indeed some trouble in the United States, but it was nothing compared to Cece's injury. Rick spent the New Year with Cece and spent more than 10 days at the Hot Spring Hotel before and after the New Year. This was something he had never experienced before. In the past 3 years, he didn't even dare to think about such leisurely days. Rick, The hotel is a bit boring. Why don't we go back to Sea City and find Sister Mion? I miss the twins. Okay, you decide. Rick had always been a man of few words. As long as it was something Cece liked, he would agree. Just like that, Rick and Cece returned to Sea City. Cece was going to bring him to meet her family. After all, they were truly in a relationship, so meeting the parents was inevitable. However, because of Rick's identity, he was afraid that he would implicate Cece's family. In the end, he decided not to visit them. That night, Rick went to look for Chin Chu to catch up. Cece dressed up beautifully and went home to have dinner with her parents. Although her parents complained that she was unreliable for going out to play during the New Year, they still forgave their younger daughter and didn't ask about her whereabouts. After dinner, Cece pushed open the door and entered her sister's room. Hi. Sis, what are you doing? Seeing her sister suddenly barge in, Xianxia immediately put down the things in her hands and looked a bit unnatural. Chapter 2281. Oh, what are you doing? Knitting a scarf? A man's style? Cece giggled when she saw the dark blue yarn. Don't gossip. Her sister blushed. You have someone you like? Is this for President Su? Cece knew what her sister was thinking. I don't know if he'll accept it. Xianxia bit her lip nervously. Sis, there are so many good men out there. Why do you like Suyu? Cece tried to persuade her sister. Then why haven't you been in a relationship for the past few years? Is it because you can't forget that handsome mixed-blood guy? Her sister asked. I'm not like you. I've dated him before, but you're in love with him. I'm not trying to discourage you, but I think you and Suyu should just forget about it. He's not reliable. He's had so many women in the past few years, but have you ever seen him fall in love with anyone? Even someone as scheming as Jian Tong couldn't win him over. Suyu is terrifyingly obsessed with Sister Mian. I know this, so I really don't want to see you fall in love with him. Cici knew about Suyu's feelings for Huamin, so she had been trying to persuade her sister not to fall in love with Suyu. However, love wasn't something that could be controlled by humans. If it was, there wouldn't be so many infatuated men and women in this world, nor would there be so many heartbroken people who wanted to die because of breakups. Cici, I know what I'm doing. I don't want anything, and I won't confess to President Su. I just want to be good to him, and be good to him in secret. But you'll fall deeper and deeper. I won't. I know what I'm doing. Your profession is special. If you don't have a boyfriend, what will you do when you're past your prime? Whether you find a rich man, an elite, or a commoner, there's bound to be someone suitable for you. Sis, you're a few years older than me. Don't make mom and dad worry about you. Okay, little girl, don't lecture me as soon as you come back. I know, I understand everything you're saying. Her sister didn't say anything more. She picked up the scarf and knitted it silently. Cici's heart ached as she watched. Suyu was indeed a good man, but he only had Huamin in his heart. The whole world knew this, but was it really okay for Big Sister to like Suyu so much? After spending some time with her sister, Cici returned to her room and called Huamin. He planned to treat Qin and Huamian to a meal with Rick, especially for his difficult surgery. Huamin didn't have time for the next few days, so he invited Cici and Rick to a party on the weekend. At a roadside stall on the pedestrian street, the ice and snow couldn't dampen everyone's enthusiasm. The streets were decorated with red lanterns and colored lights, giving off a festive vibe. Tang Chuan was wearing a black down jacket as he strolled around with Qin Ning. Qin Ning held the candied haws in her hands and ate happily. Isn't our hometown better? Tang Chuan asked. Yeah, it's good. Of course, you can't feel this atmosphere in Los Angeles, Tang Chuan said proudly. There's a Chinatown in Los Angeles, okay? Don't make it sound like I'm from the countryside. Qin Ning rolled her eyes. There's a Chinatown in Los Angeles, but there's no young Master Tang in Los Angeles. Tang Chuan said as he took a bite of the candied haws in Qin Ning's hands. Instantly, the haws and candied haws fell into Qin Ning's hands. Chapter 2282. Tang Chuan, you damn bastard! Come back here. Qin Ning, who was obsessed with cleanliness, threw a bowl of sticky candy and broken hawthorns at Tang Chuan. Then, Tang Chuan ran 2 steps forward. Qin Ning yelled angrily behind him. The passers-by all thought it was a couple arguing and watched with interest. There was even a woman with a child. The little girl pointed at them enviously. Look, this brother and sister are so pretty. They're a perfect match. When I grow up, I want to find a boyfriend just like this brother, okay? Okay, then you have to work hard to be outstanding. The mother comforted her daughter as she walked past Qin Ning. What's wrong with this kid's eyes? Why does she think Tang Chuan is a model boyfriend? Does she have no taste? Qin Ning heard this and saw Tang Chuan turn around and walk back. She was about to flip out. He saw Tang Chuan holding a small, warm bowl in his hand. He held it up with both hands. Try it. Is it good? What's this? Qin Ning asked curiously. She instantly forgot about the unpleasantness from just now. Sometimes, when a foodie got serious, their integrity would drop to the ground. Fresh octopus balls. This place is very famous, Tang Chuan said proudly. Qin Ning picked up a toothpick and was about to put it into her mouth when she suddenly saw Tang Chuan up close. Her face was red from the cold. Indeed, it was cruel to let this young master walk on the streets with her in the middle of winter. This young master spent his days in cars, hotels, shopping malls, and high-end restaurants. When did he suffer like this? I thought you never came here. How do you know this place is famous? You're not tricking me, are you? Qin Ning asked. Of course not. I just posted it on my WeChat moments and asked my friends. They're very familiar with each other. Some of them like to bring girls here to experience the life of a commoner, so it can't be wrong. Hurry up and eat. Be first. Try it for me. Qi Ning didn't care if Tang Chuan opened his mouth and fed him one. Fortunately, Tang Chuan was smart enough to open his mouth and eat one. The truth was, Qi Ning saw that he was too cold and wanted to let him eat first, but she would never admit that she cared. Sometimes, a woman in love would say one thing and mean another. This was also a kind of sweet performance. How is it? Is it good? Qi Ning asked. It's not good. Give it all to me. Ha, Tang Chuan said as he tried to snatch the food. Qi Ning immediately took a step back and used a toothpick to pick up a small meatball, taking small bites. Instantly, he felt the fragrance in his mouth overflow, and he was filled with happiness. How is it? I didn't lie to you, did I? Tang Chuan smiled. This is so good. I want more. Go and buy another bowl. Qi Ning was elated. There's no rush. It's good enough to have a taste. There are still many specialties ahead. You have to save your stomach? Okay. Qi Ning nodded happily like a child. The two of them stood by the side of the street and finished the octopus balls one bite at a time before continuing on their journey. Tang Chuan even took the time to post a selfie. He took a picture of Qi Ning's back. She was wearing a white knitted hat and a black down jacket, looking especially cute. I got a cute pet for the new year. It's so cute. Wei Liao, where did you get this pet? I want it too. Tang Chuan replied to Wei Liao, don't mess around. Sister-in-law Wei will kill you if she sees this. Wei Liao, sorry, I am your sister-in-law. Ah. Chapter 2283. Tang Chuan. I should have known that young Master Wei wouldn't be so presumptuous. Su Yu, didn't someone never post PDA on his WeChat moments? Didn't he always say that PDA is the quickest way to die? Isn't he slapping himself in the face? Tang Chuan replied to Su Yu, Lord Su, you're wrong. We're not PD. Su Yu, when it comes to sophistry, I'm not used to it. You're the only one I admire. Huamian, I agree with the commenter above. I'm not convinced, but I'm convinced by you. Tang Chuan replied to Huamin, damn, Vice Director Hua, good evening. Huamin, when are you sending my sister-in-law back? Are you staying the night? Tang Chuan replied to Huamin, haha, I wouldn't dare. Sister-in-law, give me 2 more hours. I'll send her back after we finish eating. Wei Liao, you're calling her sister-in-law already? How can you be so shameless? Tang Chuan replied to Wei Liao, I can be shameless for my wife. Su Yu, young Master Tang, I'll look down on you if you continue like this. Tang Chuan replied to Su Yu, you're talking as if you'll look down on me if I don't do this. Su Yu. In the process of bickering, Su Yu lost miserably. Su Yu was obviously not convinced. He shouted, Little Bean and Pudding, come out and save me. 3 seconds later, the comment section was flooded with comments. Pudding, Uncle Tang posted that my auntie is a pet. Little Bean, a pet is a cat or a dog. Pudding, that's enough to prove that auntie is just a cat or a dog in Uncle Tang's heart. Little Bean, I've saved a screenshot. I'll show it to auntie tonight. Tang Chuan thought to himself, ladies, please spare my life. The twins each said a few words. Tang Chuan, who was so smug just now, was about to cry in an instant. Qi Ning walked in front and looked at Tang Chuan, who was playing with his phone. She was quite dissatisfied. Tang Chuan, do you want to go shopping or not? Let's go shopping, I'll go shopping. Tang Chuan immediately put away his phone and followed him. In short, he had to let Qi Ning enjoy herself tonight. Inside a Thai restaurant, Qin Chu and Rick sat facing each other. Every time they met, they would not get drunk like other men. Instead, he talked calmly, analyzed the situation, and then asked the other party to help him solve his confusion. I didn't expect you to stay here for so long. Qin Chu looked at Rick calmly. I didn't expect it either. How's Cece recovering? Qin Chu asked. Not bad, Rick commented. You can't underestimate a gunshot wound. Although it looks like she's recovering well, you have to remember not to make any mistakes. Otherwise, it could lead to a heart attack. The place where she was shot is very sensitive, Xianxia reminded him. Yeah, Huamin told me the same thing. What's your next plan? What do you mean? Rick raised his head and looked at Xianxia, his eyes still calm. I plan to go back to the States in a few days. As for Cece, I plan to stay with her. Stay with her? You think that's a good idea? Xianxia frowned slightly. He didn't expect Rick to have such a plan. After all, with Rick's identity, it was extremely inconvenient to have a woman by his side. Plus, Rick had a lot of enemies. If he had Cece by his side, not only would his weaknesses be exposed, but it would also distract him. I don't have a choice even if it's not a good idea. This incident made me see a lot of things clearly. In life, if you're always overcautious, you won't be able to live a happy life. It's better to take a risk. That's a good idea. It's like cutting off all means of retreat. It's like smashing a broken pot. Rick smiled. Xianxia raised his glass. Your Chinese is better than mine. After the two took a sip of wine, Rick asked Xianxia, did you tell Huamin about that? Chapter 2284. Not yet. At the mention of this, Xianxia's eyes looked a little unnatural. With her intelligence, she'll definitely find out. Plus, you can't hide it for long. I think it's better to tell her. We'll talk about it later. I haven't found the right opportunity. Then you... Rick looked like he wanted to ask something. However, Xianxia raised his wine glass and stopped him. Come, let's drink. Rick had to stop the topic. He raised his glass and drank slowly with Xianxia. When Xianxia got home, it was already past 9 p.m. The twins were still playing with their grandparents in the living room. Where's Mian? Xianxia asked. Daddy, you love your wife the most. Every day, you come back to find your wife instead of your daughter. Little Bean was jealous. Xianxia smiled dotingly and lifted Little Bean up. Daddy, put me down. I'm scared of heights. Let's see if you still dare to argue with Daddy, Xianxia threatened. Ha, I was just kidding. Daddy, don't be so serious. Oh my God. Sis, come and save me. My dear sister. Little Bean was lifted over Xianxia's head. She was so scared that she cried out for Pudding. Pudding, on the other hand, calmly interrupted, trouble comes from careless talk. You deserve it. After playing for a while, Xianxia put Little Bean down and patted Pudding's head. How much did my goddess of stocks make today? Not much, less than 1,000,000 yuan, Pudding replied calmly. Sis, you have to be content, okay? Many people can't earn this much in their lifetime. You earned this much in one day and you said it was only 1,000,000 yuan. It's different. It's like how people who have seen roses may like wildflowers, but people who have seen eagles will never like crows. Ha, okay, you win. Little Bean laughed so hard that she rocked back and forth. There's a stock market meeting next week. I'm going to take you there. Really? Pudding's eyes lit up. She seemed a little excited. Of course, Daddy never lies. Daddy, I want to go too. Although Little Bean wasn't interested in stocks and finance, she couldn't lose to her sister. All right. After spending some time with his daughters, Xianxia turned around and went upstairs. Old Madam Qin sighed as she drank her tea. Back then, you were worried that Chu's personality would always be so cold. Look at just now. When he looked at the two children, his eyes were about to warm up. Yes, I didn't expect that one day he would be such a loving father. It seems that I have underestimated him. Xianxia's father sighed slightly. It's probably all thanks to Mian. He likes that girl, so naturally he likes children. If we forced him to marry someone else, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation today. Thinking back, we were really stupid back then. Mrs. Qin was a little ashamed. Grandma, did you two almost break them up? Little Bean interjected. We wanted to, but your daddy didn't give us a chance. He's so stubborn, Mrs. Qin replied. Luckily, Daddy insisted. Otherwise, we wouldn't be two adorable children. Little Bean raised her chin. My granddaughter is right. Little Bean's words made Mrs. Qin and Mr. Qin laugh. Just then, the door opened and Qi Ning came in, covered in dust, with a lot of things in her hands. "Oh my God, Auntie, did you go to the second-hand market? What did you buy?" Little Bean jumped off the sofa and ran over. In Qin Ning's hands were all little things she bought from the pedestrian street. There were also a few dolls that she and Tang Chuan hit while throwing sandbags. "So, you're having so much fun. Auntie, you're planning to stay here forever, right?" Pudding asked with a smile. "Kid, how long have we been here? You're already tired of me? Where's Uncle Tang? Why didn't you invite him in? So that Grandpa and Grandma can see your future husband?" "Huh," Little Bean said too much. Her words made the old couple look over, and Qin Ning's cheeks immediately turned red. Chapter 2285. Don't talk nonsense. I doted on you guys for nothing. Whose side are you on? Qin Ning mumbled in a low voice. Ning Ning. Mrs. Qin always paid attention to family matters, so she really wanted to ask. Unfortunately, Qin Ning didn't give the old lady a chance to speak. "Auntie, I'm a bit tired. I'm going upstairs to take a shower. If you have any questions, we can talk tomorrow." After that, Qin Ning lowered her head and hurried up the stairs in small, quick steps. "Oh, Auntie's shy. She said she's not in love? Humph, who would believe that? Uncle Tang's speed is way too fast. I thought it would take at least half a year." "Auntie, you're so spineless," Little Bean pouted. "Uncle Tang is already in love with her, so of course he's giving it his all. Our auntie is an unmarried girl. How can she withstand such a crazy pursuit?" Pudding calmly analyzed. "Yeah, you're right." Little Bean nodded thoughtfully. The twins chimed in with each other, and the old couple of the Qin family was dumbfounded. They seemed to realize that they couldn't keep up with their granddaughter's conversation. "Pudding, your auntie is very innocent. Don't be fooled. Why didn't you tell your dad?" Mrs. Qin asked anxiously. "Don't worry, Grandma. My dad already knew." "Already knew? Then why did he let her fool around? Your grandpa is very busy these days, and I don't think Ning Ning plans to go back to the States." The old lady was also anxious. "My dad must think she's reliable. That's why he let her fool around. Grandma and your grandpa don't worry about it. Plus, my grandpa has seen that guy before." "Huh," Little Bean interrupted. The old couple of the Qin family was even more confused. "Don't ask them. You can ask Mian and Chu tomorrow morning." Old Master Qin suggested to stop asking his granddaughter. After all, how could a pair of 4-year-old kids be trusted? After returning to her room, Qin Ning quickly took a shower. Then, she went to bed and lay under the warm blanket. She picked up her phone and saw Tang Chuan's WeChat message. For some reason, she felt an inexplicable joy. Tang Chuan, "Madam, are you asleep yet?" Qin Ning, "I'm not sleepy." Tang Chuan, "If you're not sleepy, why don't we go out and have some fun?" Qin Ning, "Fuck off. Are you trying to tire me out? My legs don't feel like they belong to me anymore." Qin Ning rubbed her thighs. She hadn't gone shopping like this in a long time. She had a lot of fun. But it was really tiring. Tang Chuan, "Oh my, that's too ambiguous. Those who don't know might think we're doing something." Qin Ning, get lost, get lost. Why do your words sound so dirty? No wonder my Little Bean called you dirty." Tang Chuan, "Come on, Little Bean said I'm dirty. Compared to her, I'm just a kid. Your Little Bean is the real talent." "No, wait, what's that saying again? The new generation surpasses the old, and I'm pushed onto the beach." Qin Ning, "Yes, I want to slap you to death." Tang Chuan, "So ruthless? Slap me to death and those two brats won't have an uncle." Qin Ning, "Shameless. Who said I was going to marry you?" Tang Chuan, "It's okay. You'll be mine sooner or later. You can't run away, huh?" Although it was a joke, Qin Ning still felt sweet when she heard this conversation. Qin Ning, Tang Chuan? Tang Chuan, "Yeah." Qin Ning, "Thank you for taking me to the pedestrian mall today. I really had a lot of fun. I haven't felt so relaxed in a long time." Chapter 2286. She remembered how she used to fly back and forth between Los Angeles and New York like a trapeze. Every day, she faced all kinds of big and small meetings, new product launches, and weekly summaries. In short, Qin Ning had been used to this boring executive life since she was a teenager. She thought that her life would continue like this. She even thought that in the future, she might marry a foreigner or one of her father's trusted subordinates and continue to be a career woman. Ever since Tang Chuan appeared, the entire scene changed. He was like a hooligan, shamelessly coming to her side and flirting with her in all kinds of ways. He was like a playboy, but she couldn't find it repulsive. Whether it was cooking for her as a nanny in the States or serving tea and water at the company, she thought he was cute. After returning to China, he didn't even stay at home during Chinese New Year. Instead, he went to the hot spring hotel and joined in the fun with her. Every day, he told her jokes, gossiped, and made her happy. Occasionally, he would even bicker with her. Qin Ning seemed to have fallen in love with this kind of life. She knew that even if Tang Chuan was a veteran and experienced lover, he must have fallen in love with her. After all, the person involved would know if a man truly loved her or not. After hearing Qin Ning's words, Tang Chuan still asked jokingly, "Why are you being so polite?" "Qin Ning, I'm not being polite. I'm thanking you from the bottom of my heart." "Tang Chuan, you can't say thank you with words. You have to put it into action." "Qin Ning, what do you want?" "Tang Chuan, don't be nervous, President Qin. What I mean is, if you want to thank me, send me a red packet. 5 yuan isn't too much and 500 yuan isn't too little. Oh right, you can send up to 200 yuan at a time. I don't mind transferring money, Qin Ning, shameless is the word that suits you best right now." "Tang Chuan, so, do you have any more red packets?" Tang Chuan continued to tease her, but to his surprise, she really sent him one. Tang Chuan knew that with Qin Ning's personality, she would never send him a 520 or a 1314. As expected, Qin Ning used direct transfer and the amount shown on the screen was 250 yuan. "Qin Ning, what? Isn't this what you want? Still not accepting?" "Tang Chuan, you're going too far, aren't you? Idiot." Tang Chuan also wanted to cry, but no tears came out. This aunt of his was really not going to stop. "Well, if you don't like it, why don't you reject it? It'll save me money," Qin Ning replied. "I don't mind. A penny is still money. I'll take it. I'll take it as a betrothal gift." President Qin, you must remember to marry me. Don't abandon me. After all, I'm already yours." Although they were separated by the phone screen, Qin Ning still blushed when she heard what Tang Chuan said. Then she smiled shyly. After a while, she replied, "I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Rest early. Don't eat breakfast at home tomorrow. I'll take you to a good place." Tang Chuan spoke in a mysterious manner. "What kind of place?" Qin Ning was curious. "Don't ask, little friend. You'll know when you get there. Go to sleep, be good." The two of them teased each other and ended the pleasant conversation. Qin Ning also fell asleep. In the other room, when Qin Chu came back, Huamin was still awake. She was sitting on the bed, wearing anti-radiation glasses and holding a laptop. She was doing some research. "What are you doing? You're so serious." Qin Chu walked over dotingly, hugged Huamin, and kissed her on the cheek. There was no smell of cosmetics. It was Huamin's natural body scent. It was very pleasant and Qin Chu's favorite scent. Chapter 2287. Qin Chu especially loved Huamin, who didn't wear any makeup and was wearing beige pajamas. "I'm organizing some hospital information. I didn't finish it during the day. Dr. Hua is so hardworking. I guess I should ask President Wu to give you a raise and a promotion." Qin Chu chuckled. "I can get a raise, but not a promotion. I'm already the deputy director. If I get promoted, I'll kick President Wu out, Huamin joked. "How much longer do you have? Do you need me to help you?" Qin Chu didn't want his wife to work too hard, so he rested his chin on her shoulder and looked at the files on her computer. "It's okay. I could have finished it at Southside today, but Xiao Xue and the others came. So I chatted with them for a long time and got in the way." "Them? Who else was there besides Wu Xiaoxue?" Was it Ning Ziyuan? Qin Chu frowned slightly. Huamin immediately turned his head and rubbed Qin Chu's face with the tip of his nose. What? Is someone jealous? Someone always gets jealous. You didn't even ask me for permission on such a big thing. Dr. Hua, you're so arrogant. Qin Chu purposely pulled a long face. I've always been arrogant. What? Come bite me if you don't like it. You said it? Then I won't hold back. After Qin Chu spoke, he bit Huamin's neck. Of course, he didn't use too much force. He only nibbled lightly, but this action immediately made Huamin blush. Even a certain part of his body reacted. Stop messing around, I'm not done yet. It's okay, I won't hold you up. I'll do it myself. After speaking, Mr. Qin continued to kiss him passionately. His teasing made Huamin's neck red. Huamin felt as if there were many feathers tickling his heart. Aren't you too bad? How can I concentrate on my work when you're like this? Huamin pouted. Then why don't you cooperate with me first, and then get to work? Qin Chu smirked. You're so... Huamin didn't finish her sentence because Mr. Qin didn't even give her the chance. An hour later Huamin walked out of the bathroom in a bathrobe. His legs still felt weak. That's too much. Huamin put his hands on his hips. Honey, we're husband and wife, and this is compulsory for couples. If you weren't so tired, I would have unlocked a few new positions, Mr. Qin said with a straight face. Unlock? A new position? I can't believe you said that. Huamian covered her face with her hands. She's my wife. Why can't I say it out loud? Qin Chu leaned against the headboard and smiled proudly. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I have to get back to work. Huamin held his laptop and continued to organize documents on the chaise lounge. Cece and Rick are back. I had lunch with Rick this afternoon. Yeah, Cece called me and said she wanted to have lunch with us. But she's not free for the next few days. I thought it would be a weekend get-together, so I asked them to come together. I see. Qin Chu touched the tip of his nose. What's wrong? Is something wrong? Huamin looked at Qin Chu. No, but I don't know if we can wait until the weekend. Something happened in the States, and Rick will probably leave soon. Qin Chu thought about his conversation with Rick today. Leave? What about Cece? What about Cece? Are they going to break up again? Huamian was taken aback. She thought about how hard it was for the two of them to finally be together, and how Cece almost lost her life because of it. If Rick still couldn't stay, then she would be heartbroken. Chapter 2288. He said he's going to take her with him, Qin Chu replied calmly. Take her with him? How can that be? Huamin was no longer in the mood to organize his files. He got up, walked up to the bed, and leaned on Qin Chu's shoulder. Honey, we both know about Rick's situation in the States. How can Cece? Anyway, I don't think it's a good idea. Plus, that girl named Luna is always looking for Rick. I'm worried that she'll get into trouble. In a place like the U.S., where the law is enforced, killing people is as easy as stepping on an ant. Plus, they don't give you the death penalty. Cece's so skinny, I don't think she'll be able to take it if she goes to a place like that. Rick isn't such an impulsive person. He's not impulsive. He has no other choice. After what happened this time, Rick was greatly affected. He can't leave Cece, so the best thing to do is to take her with him. Otherwise, do you think they'll be in a long-distance relationship? One in China and the other in the U.S. Is that appropriate? Qin Chu asked. Huamin was speechless. Mr. Qin's analysis was right, but would it be dangerous for Rick to take Cece with him? I know what you're worried about, but I think Rick has already thought of everything we've thought of. So, let's leave it to them. They're all adults, Qin Chu comforted Huamin. Okay, when are they leaving? Huamin looked up at Qin Chu and asked. They haven't said yet, but I think it'll be in a few days. Then I'll have to talk to Cece this weekend, Huamin said worriedly. The next morning, at the breakfast table, Mrs. Qin couldn't help but ask in a low voice, Mian, Mom wants to ask you something. Okay, go ahead. Huamin peeled an egg with one hand as he listened to his mother-in-law. Qin named that girl? Is she in love? Where did you hear that from? Did you hear Pudding and Little Bean talking nonsense? Don't listen to them. They're just kids. They don't know what they're talking about. Don't believe them. Huamin didn't expect Grandma Hua to ask him this question in the morning. No, I felt it myself. Look at Ningning. She used to be in a hurry every time she came back to China. She's such a career-minded child and can't wait to see what's going on at the headquarters every day. This time, after the new year, she's like a different person. She doesn't even bother to leave. Your second uncle called to urge her to come back a few times, but she kept stammering and refusing. She also came back late last night. As far as I know, she doesn't have any friends here. Isn't it obvious that she has met a boy? I heard from Chu that she's from the Tang family. Is that true? Yes, it's the youngest son of the Tang family. Huamin nodded. That won't do. I firmly disagree. Upon hearing this, old Madame Qin's face immediately darkened. Mom, why don't you agree? The Tang family is also a prestigious family. Isn't that good? They're well matched in terms of social status, Huamin said in a low voice. He knew that his mother-in-law was still old-fashioned and seemed to place a lot of emphasis on family background and status. It's not that. The Tang family has a bad reputation. No matter if it's the old or the young, they have a bad reputation. Didn't the third son of the Tang family marry a much younger wife? His previous wife was a good person. I've met her before. I didn't think that he would be charmed by a vixen. Also, I heard that he's going to divorce again. This time, he got an even younger wife. How unreliable. Chapter 2289. Mom, there are a lot of people in the Tang family. Not everyone is like that. You can't generalize. Huamin disagreed with his mother-in-law and tried to defend Tang Chuan. That won't do. Chu, you've always been the calmest. You don't let your emotions get the better of you, Mrs. Qin said. Huamin didn't know what to say. She raised her voice and asked her son to be the judge. What is it, Mom? Qin Chu was confused by his mother's question. It's about our Ning Ning and that guy from the Tang family. You have to stop them. Why should I stop them? Ning Ning is old. Isn't it good for her to be in a relationship? Qin Chu was calm. Dating is fine, but you have to choose the right person. The Tang family is just a bunch of people. They change women faster than they change clothes just because they have some money. If the upper beam is not straight, the lower beam will be crooked. They don't have good family values. No, I don't agree. Mom. Huamin wanted to say something else. I know that guy. He's your friend and often comes to our house as a guest. But you can't marry him. Son, you should know what kind of person he is. That kind of behavior is unacceptable. I'll talk to your uncle about this and ask him to take Ning Ning back. She can't stay here any longer. Mrs. Qin was very domineering when she was young. She liked to meddle in other people's business and make decisions inside and outside the house. She was also very against the relationship between Qin Chu and Huamin. She even made the two families hostile for many years because of this. She also made Qin Chu and Huamin separate for 7 years. Now that Mrs. Qin was acting like this, to be honest, Huamin felt very uncomfortable. It wasn't that he was against his mother-in-law, nor was he prejudiced against her. He just felt that Mrs. Qin was old and had a generation gap with young people. Mom, don't worry about this. Qin Chu obviously didn't agree with his mother. That's right, Mom. We're all old. Let's just enjoy our lives. Let the children make their own decisions. Qin Chu's father also tried to persuade his wife. That won't do. I'm doing this for Ning Ning's own good. I don't care if it's an outsider. Why are all of you targeting me? The old lady was so angry that she threw the half-eaten bun on the table with a dark face. This made everyone feel very awkward. Seeing this, Huamin didn't dare to say anything. After all, they were elders. It wasn't good to quarrel so early in the morning over such a trivial matter. Therefore, she gave Qin Chu a look, indicating for him to stop talking. Qin Chu sighed slightly. Then, he looked at the twins who were eating happily and said, Pudding, Little Bean, hurry up and persuade Grandma. Daddy is going to use us again. Pudding said calmly. So? Grandma is so angry and no one dares to say anything. Can we really do it? Little Bean said helplessly. The twins' cute behavior made Chin Chu and Huamin laugh. If we don't do anything, it'll seem like we're not a part of this family. Pudding continued. Little Bean took a tissue and wiped the milk off the corner of her mouth. She sighed and said, "If that's the case, let's try. After all, Daddy only asked us for help because he had no other choice. We have to give him face." "Yeah, Daddy is always so nice to you. Now that Grandma is angry, shouldn't you say something?" Chin Chu looked at the twins gently. "Don't try to persuade me. I'm not eating. I'm angry with you guys." Mrs. Chin was old, so her temper rose. Chapter 2290. People often said that old people were like children. Once a person got old, he or she would regain their youthfulness and become more childish. It made people angry and amused at the same time. It was also very difficult to communicate with them. "Grandma, if you don't want to eat, I won't eat either. I'll starve with you. I know that starving will affect my growth, but for you, I'd rather not grow taller." Little Bean expressed her determination. "Oh, my little baby, you can't do that. You usually have a good appetite and can eat at least 2 meat buns. You only ate one today. No, you have to eat." Hearing her granddaughter's words, Lady Chin's heart softened and she tried to coax Little Bean. "No, Grandma, I won't eat." "I won't eat," Little Bean insisted. "Good girl, Grandma will eat. You have to eat before it gets cold. Your stomach can't take it." Then, Lady Chin immediately picked up the meat buns and drank the millet porridge. Little Bean gave Chin Chu an okay sign, meaning that she was done. Pudding said slowly, "Grandma, let me tell you, Uncle Tang is a very nice person. Ever since we could talk and walk, we've been playing with him. He's Handsome Sue's best friend, just like Uncle Wei. Think about it, birds of a feather flock together. Someone who can hang out with Handsome Sue and Uncle Wei can't be a bad person. You're overthinking it this time." "Is that so?" Lady Chin looked at Chin Chu and then at Huamin in confusion. Yes. Tang Chuan is Su Yu's childhood friend. Chin Chu and I have known each other for years. Mom, he's not what you think. Plus, second uncle knows that he's pursuing Ning because he went to the States and stayed with second uncle for more than a month." "Really? Why didn't your second uncle mention it?" Lady Chin was dumbfounded. "Second uncle is so busy. He doesn't have time to talk to you about this." Chin Chu lowered his head and drank the lemon tea. Chin Chu's father glanced at his wife and said, "See, I told you. Second brother knows what he's doing. We don't have to worry about him." "So, Grandma, don't worry. Auntie won't be with a nobody," Pudding said. "If that's the case, then I'll be relieved." Old Madam Chin finally stopped being pretentious. Huamin gave his 2 daughters a thumbs up. After breakfast, they walked out of the house and went to the parking lot to pick up the car. Huamin smiled and said, "Hubby, your daughter is really amazing. The moment she stepped in, she immediately settled our mother." "It's all thanks to my wife," Chin Chu complimented. "No, it's your family's genes that are good." "No, it's because my wife is a genius. That's why they have a high EQ. Let's stop praising each other. If we don't drive out now, we'll be late." Then, Huamin wrapped her arms around Mr. Chin's neck and kissed him gently on the corner of his mouth. Then they got into their respective cars and left. "What are you looking at? Why are you so engrossed?" Pudding walked over and saw Little Bean staring blankly out the window. "Daddy and Mommy are already so old, but they're always showing off their love. It makes us single dogs suffer," Little Bean sighed. "Calm down, you're only 4 years old. Even if you fall in love at 16, you'll still be single for 12 years, Pudding added. Little Bean was immediately hurt by her words. "Sis, if Daddy and Mommy have a second child in the future, do you think our status will drop?" Little Bean suddenly asked. "What do you think?" Pudding asked calmly. "Daddy will love us more. After all, it's a father's nature to love his daughters. But Grandpa, Grandma, and Mommy will probably love us more. Just thinking about this makes me so annoyed." Little Bean cupped her chubby little face. "I don't think so." Pudding smiled and sat down next to Little Bean. Oh, so, my awesome sis, what do you think? Little Bean tilted her head and looked at her sister with interest. Chapter 2291. I think that after Daddy and Mommy have a second child, we'll have another scapegoat. Ha! Sis, you're so smart. Little Bean laughed out loud after hearing her sister's words. Am I wrong? Haven't you noticed that Daddy and Mommy rely on us a lot? No matter what they can't solve, they always make us their scapegoats. For example, what happened at breakfast this morning. It's not like you don't know how scary Grandma is when she's angry. We were just sent to the gunpoint. Pudding bit her lip, feeling wronged. Sis, now that you mention it, I think you're right. Little Bean suddenly realized. So, I want to have a second child as soon as possible so that we can share the burden. Pudding proudly crossed her arms in front of her chest, looking serious. Little Bean lowered her head and put her 2 index fingers together as if she was thinking of a bad idea. Sis, you're right. So, I think we should help Daddy and Mommy have a second child as soon as possible. What do you think? That's Daddy and Mommy's business. How can we help? Pudding was a little dumbfounded. We can poke all the condoms in their room with needles. That way, Little Bean said with a straight face. Pudding almost choked when she heard this. Ahem, sis, are you okay? Little Bean didn't seem to realize how shocking her words were. Little Bean, you're going to kill me. I really regret not bringing a lightning rod when I talked to you, Pudding sighed. You still haven't told me what my idea is. It's pretty bad. I'm just wondering how you came up with such a dirty idea. No wonder Auntie Lingling and Auntie Xiaowei said you were dirty. Even Gaobuyan was led astray by you when he played with you a few times. What's going on in that little head of yours? At this moment, Pudding suspected that she and Little Bean weren't born from the same mother. She suspected that the nurse in the room next door had misdiagnosed her. Why were their personalities so different? I'm just trying to think of a way. Little Bean looked innocent. You can't think of a way like that? No, it won't work. Pudding quickly waved her hands. Why not? You don't dare? Are you afraid that Mommy will beat us up? It's not about whether I beat him up or not. Second child. Let nature take its course. Do you think giving birth is as simple as a hen laying eggs? 1 a day? Do you think it's for fun? I won't say it anymore. Little Bean was still feeling wronged. The topic of his parents wanting a second child came to an end. However, after listening to Pudding's analysis, Little Bean had a new perspective on this matter. She seemed to be hoping that Daddy and Mommy would have another baby. If it was a little sister, she could pick up their clothes. If it was a little brother, then he could take the blame for them. It was perfect. Time flies and it's the weekend. Early in the morning, everyone began to pack their things and went to Zhu Lingling's house. Zhu Lingling and Gao Ran moved to a new house because of Gao Ran's work. This house with 3 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, and 2 bathrooms was 180 square meters. It was located in a high-end neighborhood near the Municipal Public Security Bureau. The people who lived here were all high-ranking officials and dignitaries. Because the Municipal Public Security Bureau often had unexpected cases, Gao Ran and Zhu Lingling moved in a year ago to make it more convenient for them to deal with cases in the middle of the night. The interior was very luxurious. Chapter 2292. The family of 3 was used to living here. Zhu Lingling's family was the only one without a nanny because Gao Buyuan was already in kindergarten. Gao Ran was working, and Zhu Lingling had her own shop, so she was able to take care of the father and son's daily needs. Everyone felt at ease at their house because the neighborhood was very strict and was close to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Therefore, there wouldn't be any reporters following them. Huamin's family was the first to arrive. The family of 4 drove a black Bentley and slowly drove into the neighborhood. Since it was a private party, the family of 4 was dressed very casually. Huamin and Qin Chu wore matching outfits, which was rare for them. Huamin's outfit was beige with English letters on the front. It looked very trendy. Qin Chu's outfit was navy blue with the same English letters. They both wore white limited edition sports shoes from a famous brand. Pudding and Little Bean, on the other hand, were wearing red sportswear and had the same English alphabet as their parents. As soon as they walked in, Zhu Lingling exclaimed, "Wow, this is the first time I've seen you guys in matching outfits. You look so cool. This is the first time you've seen Mr. Qin dressed so casually, right?" Huamin laughed. "Yes, most of the time I've seen him in suits. Auntie Lingling, do you think my daddy looks better in a suit or casual clothes?" Little Bean asked. "Your daddy is so handsome that he looks good even in a beggar's outfit." "Ha," Zhu Lingling joked. "Are you praising my husband, or are you praising my husband? Or are you complimenting my husband?" Huamin couldn't help but laugh. "Of course I'm complimenting your husband. Don't you know how handsome your husband is?" Zhu Lingling pouted. At this moment, Pudding asked with cold humor, "So, Auntie Lingling, do you want to switch husbands with my mommy?" Zhu Lingling almost choked. "Pudding, are you trying to sell your daddy out?" Huamin tilted his head and smiled. Qin Chu, on the other hand, didn't want to get involved in this boring topic with them. He walked directly to the refrigerator and took out a can of iced cola. Then he walked to Gao Ran's room while drinking. Gao Ran was actually playing games in front of the computer. Gao Ran was in the middle of the fight. He didn't even turn his head as he spoke. "The great bureau chief is actually playing online games at home so early in the morning. How unbelievable!" Qin Chu leaned against the windowsill and teased. "So what if I'm a bureau chief? A bureau chief is also a human being. He needs to eat and shit too. This is my private time, understand?" After saying that, Gao Ran even pulled Qin Chu over. Come, open my laptop. Let's have a match." "No," Mr. Qin refused. But Gao Ran was dumbfounded. "Because your game is too crappy," Mr. Qin said proudly. "Fuck, you're humiliating me." "No, we have to have a one-on-one duel." Gao Ran didn't want to admit defeat. In the end, Mr. Qin couldn't refuse Gao Ran's invitation. He slowly walked over and opened Gao Ran's laptop. The two grown men began their battle for supremacy in online games. Ever since Qin Chu graduated from high school, he rarely played online games. However, he knew all the popular online games. He was a genius. Therefore, he beat Gao Ran over and over again. However, Gao Ran refused to accept it. After being beaten over and over again, he continued to look for more. Huamin took off his jacket and asked Zhu Lingling, "They'll be here soon. Why don't we go over the menu first?" Chapter 2293. There's no need to research. I've bought a lot of vegetables and meat. We'll improvise when the time comes. You can just pick some ingredients to cook. Anyway, we're not here to eat. We're just here to have fun. Zhu Lingling wasn't a person who cared about trifles. When she bought groceries, she almost carried the entire supermarket and didn't choose carefully. This was even more difficult for a Virgo like Huamian. She was a perfectionist. "You're putting me in a difficult position," Huamin complained with her hands on her hips. "Don't worry. We still have a lot of time. Take your time. Oh, I'll give you an apron." Then, Zhu Lingling took out a small floral apron and put it on Huamin. She instantly turned into a cook. The two women went into the kitchen and began to study the menu for lunch. Pudding sat in the living room and turned on the TV. She was watching the speeches of several stock market experts on the finance channel. "Sis, let's go," Pudding said with a smile. "Where to?" Pudding was confused. "To find Gao Buin." "Didn't you hear Auntie Lingling say that Gao Buin is still in bed? That's why we have to go. Let's see if we can make him walk out naked or something," Pudding said shamelessly. "Then go by yourself." Hearing this, Pudding was even more reluctant to go. What's the point of watching TV? A bunch of self-righteous experts bragging? It's so boring. It's better to listen to Uncle Tang brag. Pudding seemed to be bored by her sister watching TV. Everyone has their own interests. Don't interfere, okay? If you want to flirt with Gao Buin, you can go by yourself, Pudding said slowly. "But I'll go by myself." Then, Pudding whistled like a female pervert and walked towards Gao Buyuan's room. Gao Buyuan didn't have to go to kindergarten on the weekend, so he was allowed to watch some cartoons last night. He overslept this morning. Zhu Lingling didn't want to wake him up because she loved her son. So, when Pudding went in, Gao Buyuan was still sleeping soundly. The blankets were all minions, so cute. Damn, he's so childish. Even his blanket is made of cartoon characters, Little Bean mumbled. She walked up to Gao Buyuan and watched him snoring and drooling. She reached out and lifted the quilt. Then he sneaked a peek and was slightly disappointed. What? You're wearing so much. It turned out that Gao Buyuan was wearing a thin long-sleeved shirt and trousers. Little Bean's desire to expose him was instantly extinguished. Gao Buyuan didn't seem to realize that his quilt was lifted. He turned over and went back to sleep. Little Bean's eyes darted around, and she suddenly had an idea. She first leaned over to Gao Buyuan's ear and whispered, "Meow, meow, meow." Gao Buyuan didn't respond. "Woof, woof, woof." Little Bean barked like a dog again. There was still no response. Little Bean lost her patience and slapped Gao Buyuan on the back. Then he quickly lowered his head and hid under the edge of the bed. Gao Buyuan was startled by the sudden slap. He opened his eyes in a daze, but there was no one around. He was puzzled. Could it be that he was dreaming? He lay down and closed his eyes. Then he was slapped again. This time, Gao Buyuan felt it and sat up. He looked around, but there was still no one around. 3 seconds later, Gao Buyuan rushed out, wailing like a ghost and howling like a wolf. "Oh my God, there's a ghost." It turned out that the kid thought it was the ghost who was causing trouble, so he was so scared that he ran away. Chapter 2294. What's going on? Pudding was watching TV in the living room and shivered in fear. She immediately realized it must be her daughter's doing. "Mom, come out." "Where are you?" Gao Buyuan was so scared that he called out for his mom. Zhu Lingling heard her son scream and ran out of the kitchen, followed by Huamin. Then, Gao Ran and Qin Chu came out from the other room. They looked at Gao Bui. "Son, what's wrong?" Zhu Lingling hugged the little boy. "There's a ghost in my room." "A ghost? Are you kidding me?" Zhu Lingling frowned. "Son, it's day. Did you have a nightmare?" Gao Ran was also confused by his son's words. No, it's not a dream. It's real. I was hit by a ghost. I was scared to death." Gao Buyuan was so scared that he hugged Zhu Lingling's neck tightly. "I'll go check it out." Gao Ran was about to go when Pudding said, "Uncle Gao, it's not a ghost. It might be." Little Bean playing with Buyuan. In fact, Pudding felt embarrassed after she said that. Hearing Little Bean's words, Qin Chu and Huamin's faces fell, knowing their daughter must have caused trouble. "Little Bean, come out." Huamin yelled in a serious tone. "Mommy." Little Bean seemed to know she had caused trouble and walked out of the room with her head down. "Qin Mumu, how dare you play with me?" Gao Buyuan was really angry. His lazy nap was disturbed by this girl and almost scared out of his wits. "Little brother Buyuan, I'm just playing with you. Why did you take it seriously?" Little Bean began to act cute. "How can you play with me like that? You're trying to scare me to death." "Auntie Mion, I think Little Bean needs a beating." Gao Buyuan knew why Little Bean was so scared of Huamin, so he complained. "Mommy, I really didn't do it on purpose. I was just teasing him." Little Bean pouted. "That's good. They're all kids. It's okay." Zhu Lingling tried to smooth things over, afraid that Huamin would teach Little Bean a lesson. "Son, you are also finished. You were scared by a little girl. How can you be a police officer with your dad in the future?" Gao Ran laughed. "What does this have to do with being a police officer? She's purposely pranking me. This is unforgivable." Obviously, the handsome guy was angry. "Little Bean, why are you still standing there? Why aren't you apologizing to Bui?" Pudding saw her mother's expression and was afraid that her sister would be beaten. "Hurry up and give her ideas." Hearing her sister's words, she immediately ran over and took Gao Buyuan's hand. "Buyuan, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to get you up and play with us. I haven't seen you for a long time and I really miss you. Come on, give me a kiss." After saying this, Little Bean kissed Gao Buyuan on the cheek. Gao Buyuan's face immediately turned red. Obviously, he didn't have much confidence. Gao Ran nudged Qin Chu with his elbow. Look. Mr. Qin, your daughter is playing the honey trap at such a young age. Your son seems to enjoy it too, Qin Chu said calmly. Zhu Lingling couldn't help but chuckle. Son, Little Bean has already apologized. Don't hold it against her, okay? Let's be men. Look at Wei Yunchu, he doesn't make a fuss over nothing. Chapter 2295. Wei Yunchu is so lucky to be with Pudding. Why am I so unlucky? Gao Buyuan crossed his arms and said angrily. Pudding pouted. Hey, Gao Buyuan, what do you mean by that? You seem to feel wronged about our marriage. If you don't like it, we can change. I'll go find Wei Yunchu and you can be with my sister. But let me warn you, my sister has more tricks up her sleeves than I do. Don't cry when the time comes and don't regret it. You don't know how lucky you are. Then, Pudding turned around and ran to the balcony, ignoring everyone else. Gosh, you two are already talking about your marriage. How embarrassing. But, Gao Buyuan, you're shameless. Little Bean must be mad. Go and comfort her. Gao Ran encouraged his son. She was the one who started it. How did it become my fault? Gao Buyuan was also confused. So, you two are fighting and you want Wei Yunchu and me to be implicated? Pudding glanced at them quietly, expressing her helplessness. But, since there's nothing else, let's go back to the kitchen. Geez, you're wasting my time. Then, Zhu Lingling dragged Huamin back into the kitchen. Gao Ran also dragged Qin Chu back to the study to play games. Pudding was still calmly watching TV and eating fruit as if nothing had happened. Gao Buyuan went into his room to change and wash his face. When he came out, he found that Pudding was still mad. Pudding, is she still mad? Gao Buyuan asked in a small voice. What do you think? Pudding tilted her head and looked at him. Then, what should we do? Gao Buyuan was at a loss. Comfort her, how? I don't know how. Gao Buyuan was in a difficult position. Let me give you a reminder. Pudding likes jam. Then, Pudding continued watching TV. Gao Buyuan immediately understood. He ran to the snack cabinet in his room, took out a bag of Oreos and a piece of chocolate, and walked over. Little Bean, he called. Pudding pretended not to see him. Little Bean, don't be mad. Go away, don't bother with me. Don't you hate me? Don't you like Big Sister? No, I didn't mean that. I just said it casually. Ha, just like you, I was just teasing you. Girls teasing boys is teasing, and boys teasing girls is bullying. Do you understand? Little Bean said righteously. Really? Gao Buyuan scratched his head, not knowing what to do. I used to think that even though you're a little ugly, you're silly and cute. I didn't expect you to be so vulgar. You even compared yourself to Wei Yunchu. You're such an idiot. I don't like you anymore. I kissed you for nothing. You dirted my mouth. Then, Little Bean wiped her mouth carelessly. Gao Buyuan thought for a long time and said, how about I kiss you back and return it to you? Fuck you. Little Bean was on the verge of breaking down. Little Bean, don't be mad. Here, have some Oreos. Gao Buyuan raised his left hand and handed her an Oreo. Little Bean glanced at him. You want to bribe me with a bag of crappy biscuits? No way. Do you want the chocolate? My mom handmade it. She bought all the ingredients herself. It's delicious and soft, Gao Buyuan continued to tempt her. Chocolate. Seeing the food, Little Bean's heart softened. Here, have a bite. Gao Buyuan continued to tempt her. I can't be so shameless. If I eat your chocolate, I'll forgive you. I don't want it. Little Bean clenched her teeth and insisted. Chapter 2296. I see. Forget it then. I'll give it to Pudding. You can have some alone time. I won't disturb you. With that, Gao Buyuan turned to leave. Stop. What? Gao Buyuan turned around. Are you apologizing or not? Gao Buyuan, do you have any sincerity? Little Bean was not convinced. I am sincere. Otherwise, Why would I try so hard to please you? I'm not that free. Then open the chocolate for me, Little Bean said in a low voice. Okay. Galbuyan smiled and opened the chocolate for her. Little Bean took it and took a bite. Then, she nodded with satisfaction. The taste is indeed different. Have some. I have a lot more at home. Oh, I'll bring you some when I leave. Little Bean finally smiled. Looking at the two, Pudding was bored. She took out her phone and sent a WeChat message to Suyu. Pudding, handsome Sue, where are you? Suyu, what's up, Pudding? Pudding, it's so annoying to see someone showing off their love in front of me. Come and play chess with me. Suyu, Pudding, I'm at the airport. Pudding, the airport? Why are you at the airport? Suyu, I'm on a business trip. I'm invited to the annual meeting of my partner's company. Pudding, I thought you would come to the party today. For a moment, Pudding was very disappointed. Suyu, I know about the party. Your mom told me about it. Unfortunately, it's happening at the same time. I'm afraid I'll go next time. There will be a lot of parties anyway. Pudding, okay. Be careful. Tell them you're safe when you land. Suyu, I know. Kiddo, don't worry about me. Have fun with Pudding and Little Bean. Bully Wei Yunchu and Galbuyuan. Pudding, I don't need you to tell me that. Suyu, ha. Good job. After texting Suyu, Pudding went back to watching TV calmly. Not long after, everyone arrived one after another, and the room suddenly became lively. Yang and Xianxia bought a lot of delicious fruits and snacks for the children. Xianxia was very virtuous and went straight into the kitchen to help. Yang sat on the sofa and watched TV with Pudding. Then there was Wei Liao and Jiang Xiaowei's family of three. Wei Yunchu had a good relationship with Galbuyuan because they were both boys. The three kids ran into Galbuyuan's room and played with all kinds of toy guns. Rick and Cece came next. They kept a low profile and also bought a lot of fruits and food. Rick went straight to the study to look for Qin Chu while Cece went into the kitchen to help wash the vegetables. The last to arrive were Tang Chuan and Qin Ning. The two of them arrived late. When they arrived, it was almost lunchtime. Lord Tang, you're late. No, you have to drink 3 cups as punishment. Wei Liao joked. No problem. I'll be fine even if I drink 6 cups. Huh, I came here today with a target that I'd like to fight. Tang Chuan said. Huamin chuckled. Drink all of you until you're drunk. Tang Chuan waved his hand and bragged without thinking. Huh. Why do I feel like we're short of people? Where's Lord Su? Jiang Xiaowei didn't know that Suyu wasn't coming, so she asked curiously. Mian, didn't you tell Suyu? Zhu Lingling remembered that Huamin told her to tell Suyu. I told him. Suyu said he had something to do today and won't be coming. I think he's on a business trip. Huamin recalled. Pudding nodded. I just sent handsome Su a WeChat message. He's at the airport. Oh, I see. That's too bad. I thought it would be a big party. Zhu Lingling was a bit disappointed. It's good that Lord Su isn't coming. He's going to lie low for a while. Tang Chuan interrupted. What do you mean? Did Suyu get into trouble? Huamin looked at Tang Chuan in confusion. Don't tell me you guys don't know about the rumor about Lord Su? Tang Chuan looked at everyone curiously. What rumor? Huamin's heart skipped a beat and he asked seriously. Chapter 2297. It looks like you guys really don't know? Tang Chuan didn't say it was a rumor and continued to talk about it. Everyone's faces were filled with confusion. Uncle Tang, if you don't hurry up, I think my mom is going to flip out. Pudding said calmly. Everyone knew that Huamin cared a lot about Suyu. Although she never had any romantic feelings for him, she was always grateful that he took care of her and her mother over the years. Therefore, she was always considerate of Suyu. At first, Mr. Qin was slightly jealous, but later, he understood how his wife felt. Don't be like that. Vice Director Hua is scary when she flips out. I'll tell you, okay? Looking at your confused faces, I know that you guys don't know. Here's the thing. Rumors started in the industry that Lord Su doesn't like women anymore and likes men. When he was young, he had enough of women and now he's changed his taste. They even suspect that he's having an affair with his assistant. Tang Chuan cut the long story short. Everyone's reaction was as interesting as it could get. Zhu Lingling, ha, really? That's so melodramatic. Do they really think this is the most melodramatic drama of the year? Homosexuality? Oh my god. Gao Ran, this is a bit ridiculous. Su Yu would be furious if he knew. Tang Chuan, he doesn't know yet. Who would dare to tell him? With his temper, he'd flip the world upside down. Plus, people in the industry only dare to talk about it in private. No one dares to offend him. And Yang, people in the company did talk about it, but they didn't dare to make a big deal out of it. They were afraid that President Su would get mad. All the celebrities seemed to know about it. I heard that a few of them tried to get close to President Su, but he rejected them all. CC, but you can't say that President Su is gay, right? My sister also has a crush on President Su. She knitted him a scarf, but President Su rejected her. If he rejected her, it means he doesn't love her. It has nothing to do with being gay. These people really have nothing better to do. Even Cece started to stand up for Su Yu. Rick handed Cece a glass of water. Calm down, you're still injured, Rick reminded her in a low voice. Wei Liao, this happened a few years ago. Back then, there were rumors that young Master Su, young Master Tang, and I were all gay. After I got married, Tang Chuan started fooling around, and young Master Su confessed to Huamian. The rumors died down. Why are you bringing it up again? Jiang Xiaowei, those people are just blindly making a fuss. We're sick of hearing these words. And they're hiding like they don't know where they are, and they're hiding, theys like they're hiding. Theys like, hiding there's like they're hiding. This, and they've been spreading their they reteat. T like that. Pudding said calmly. Then, she took out her phone and opened Weibo. Mian, what do you think? Zhu Lingling asked Huamin with a smile. Everyone knows that Su Yu isn't gay. There's nothing to say about it. Smart people don't believe in rumors. If people continue to cause trouble, Su Yu won't forgive them, Huamin said word by word. That's for sure. Our Lord Su's temper is like heaven and earth. It's a good thing he went on a business trip. Otherwise, who knows how angry he would be right now? Tang Chuan exclaimed. It happened a few days ago. Why didn't you tell us? Wei Liao complained. Chapter 2298. I didn't think much of it. I thought it would be over in a few days. Who knew that it would get more and more dangerous? Now, it's even related to an... Tang Chuan replied. Then, do you guys think that Su Yu took things too hard and... Qi Ning didn't know much about Su Yu. She only knew that Su Yu had been in love with his sister-in-law for years without any regrets. So, she guessed that Su Yu had a crush on her and couldn't get her, so he changed his mind and, before Huamin could refute Qi Ning's words, Qin Chu, who had been silent the whole time, spoke up. No, he won't do that no matter what. See, even President Qin, his love rival, is trying to clear Lord Su's name. Ning Ning, don't talk nonsense, okay? It's about Lord Su's innocence. I'll get someone to look into it later. Everyone, pay attention to the situation, Gao Ran concluded. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. It's disgusting to hear. Let's eat. Then, Zhu Lingling stood up and began serving the dishes with Huamin and Xianxia. In the end, a table full of sumptuous dishes was served, squeezing the large square table to the point that there was no space left. Wow, didn't you say there were 12 dishes? There are 20 dishes now, right? Tang Chuan asked greedily. There were 12 dishes, but Jie came. She's even more virtuous than us. She made a few more dishes. Everyone's in luck today. Mian said that Jie's cooking is really good. I can attest to that. She's really good. And Yang smiled. Don't be so smug. Keep a low profile, okay? Chen Jie pushed Yang shyly, looking a little embarrassed. Just like that, everyone sat around the table and began eating. Huamin carefully picked out some dishes from a small plate and placed them on the coffee table on the other side. Pudding, Little Bean, Gao Buiyun, and Wei Yunchu sat at another table. Well, don't fight, don't cause trouble. Huamin looked at Little Bean worriedly. Huamin felt guilty at the thought of how she had pranked Gaobuyan in the morning and how he had been so scared. She didn't know why she and Mr. Qin, who were both so reserved, would give birth to such a naughty child. Moreover, it was a daughter. "I know, Mommy. Don't worry," Little Bean promised like a little adult. "As the host, I'd like to raise a glass of wine to thank everyone for coming to my house as guests. I really like this atmosphere." "Huh? We'll have to gather more often in the future." Gao Ran seemed to be in a good mood. "Come on, cheers." Tang Chuan was very good at livening up the atmosphere. The group of people began to eat and drink, and the atmosphere was very good. Even Rick, who was a man of few words, would smile from time to time when he was amused by everyone. "Sis, why aren't you eating?" Little Bean silently looked at Pudding, who was holding her phone. "I'm fighting." "Fighting? With who?" Little Bean was confused. "With those anti-fans on Weibo. They're so mean, they even went to Handsome Sue's Weibo to talk about it. Handsome Sue will be very sad if he sees it." Pudding was obviously unhappy. Little Bean leaned over to take a look. Sure enough, her sister and those anti-fans were having a heated argument. "Sis, how about this? I suggest we eat first. After we're full, I'll fight them with you. What do you think?" Little Bean persuaded. Chapter 2299. Yeah, Pudding. Eat first so that you have the energy to do other things. Gaobuyan was more obedient. He was the fattest of the 4 children. His body was very strong and he was never picky about food. Pudding was in a bad mood. She only replied quietly, "I don't have much of an appetite. You 3 eat first." Gaobuyan held his bowl and whispered to Wei Yunchu, "Aren't you going to talk to your wife?" After saying that, Gaobuyan was still worried that Wei Yunchu would be angry. Unexpectedly, he only blushed slightly and put a piece of shiitake mushroom into Pudding's bowl. "Auntie Mion said that you like shiitake mushrooms. This is delicious. Try it." Wei Yunchu looked at Pudding. "Thank you." Pudding picked up a piece of shiitake mushroom with her chopsticks and put it in her mouth. Then, she continued to scroll through Weibo. Tang Chuan was right. This incident had indeed started to spread on Weibo. Someone even took a lot of photos of Su Yu Anton as his bodyguard and had to follow Su Yu everywhere he went. Some people started to use this as an excuse. They wrote, "Su Yu is a pervert who likes male assistants." Disgusting. Pudding couldn't stand it. Especially when Su Yu was so sacred in her heart. She replied, "Shut up if you don't know how to talk. Don't ruin your good karma." Su Yu was on a business trip and spent more than 3 hours on the plane. He didn't turn on his phone. Pudding sent him a WeChat message, but he didn't reply. In fact, Su Yu rarely went on Weibo. He used it because Huamin used it. After scrolling for a long time, Pudding finally saw someone who was willing to speak up for Su Yu. It was Nie Lingxian, Cece's biological sister. She said on Weibo, "Please don't listen to the rumors. Su Yu is a boss worthy of our respect. Imperial Star will always love him. Wise people don't believe in rumors. I hope this incident will end here. Otherwise, our company will hold them responsible." After she finished speaking, many female stars from Imperial Star followed suit and spoke up for Su Yu. Pudding walked up to Enai Yang with her phone in hand and whispered, "Uncle, say something for Handsome Su. Hurry up, you're very popular." Enai Yang smiled and patted Pudding's little head. She took out her phone and reposted Nielingshuan's post. "President Su, you've always been open and aboveboard. Some people shouldn't make things up out of nothing. Otherwise, we won't tolerate it." It was a short sentence, but it was sonorous and powerful, which was very much in line with Enai Yang's style. After he said that, Enai Yang's true fans immediately jumped out to defend Su Yu. Pudding was still not in the mood to eat. After Gaobuyan and Little Bean finished eating, they ran into the house to play hide and seek. Pudding was still holding her phone, and she seemed to have something on her mind. Wei Yunchu was the same as his father. He wasn't a talkative person, so he didn't know what to say. After a while, he took out a lollipop from his bag and walked over to Pudding. "Pudding here, have a lollipop first." I'm not Little Bean. Why are you giving me a lollipop? Pudding asked with a smile. Because you're in a bad mood. Mommy said that when you're in a bad mood and feel bitter, you should eat a lollipop. It'll be sweet. There's nothing you can't get through in life. Wei Yunchu carefully recalled his mother's words and tried to comfort Pudding. It's okay. I just feel bad when I see those trash talk about handsome Sue like that, Pudding said angrily. Pudding, do you really like Uncle Sue? Wei Yunchu mustered up his courage and asked. Chapter 2300. Yes, of course I do. He's been with me since I was born. I'll love him for the rest of my life. To be honest, Wei Yunchu was quite upset by Pudding's confession. He was a little older than Pudding and Little Bean, so his EQ and IQ weren't low. Naturally, he knew a lot. Although he was still a kid, for some reason he couldn't feel happy when he heard Pudding say that she liked Uncle Sue. Then, will you marry him in the future? Wei Yunchu asked in a small voice. What did you say? Pudding thought she heard wrong, so she asked again. I said, you like Uncle Sue so much. Will you marry him in the future? Wei Yunchu asked again, a little absent-minded. Can you stop joking? Pudding couldn't help but laugh. What are you laughing at? Wei Yunchu felt that Pudding shouldn't laugh when he asked such a serious question. What are you talking about? I like handsome Sue, but it's not that kind of love. Marrying him is a romantic relationship. It's not that easy to be a married couple. I like handsome Sue because he's the man who treats me and Little Bean the best other than Dad. Even Uncle Jixin and Grandpa aren't as good as him. So, I like him a lot. You mean, you like Uncle Sue as an elder? Wei Yunchu seemed to understand now. Pudding nodded. So that's how it is. He muttered to himself and secretly pursed his lips into a smile. What are you laughing at? Pudding looked at Wei Yunchu curiously. Nothing? Are you hungry? I'll get you some rice. I'm not hungry. I don't really want to eat. Then, we can go to the study. I heard Uncle Gao has a lot of books. Wei Yunchu suggested. That's a good idea. Let's go. Pudding was still a kid, so she immediately followed Wei Yunchu to the study. Tang Chuan looked at the four kids having fun and deliberately teased them. Big brother, big sister, someone wants to hit on our twins. Shameless. Who's your big brother and sister-in-law? Don't call me that. Tang Chuan, can you be a little shameless? Tang Chuan called Huamin and Qin Chu's sister-in-law and brother in front of so many people, making Qin Ning very embarrassed. Am I wrong? That's the truth. Not yet. Qin Ning corrected her. It will be in the future. Sooner or later, it will be. Tang Chuan began to act shamelessly again. Gao Ran looked at his son and Little Bean and said with a smile, My son has forgotten the pain after the scar healed. He forgot that he was almost scared to death by Little Bean this morning. He's my wife, of course she won't hold a grudge. Zhu Lingling teased. Huamin chuckled. You guys sure are strong-willed. How dare you marry our Little Bean? I'm not trying to scare you guys, but Qin Dadong and I can't control Little Bean when she gets wild. Don't worry, we'll have to return the goods if something goes wrong. We'll never return the goods, huh? Don't worry about it. My family likes girls with personality. Zhu Lingling laughed. It seems that marrying Pudding suits our Yunchu's personality. Both of them are introverted. Maybe they'll be together in the future. What do you think, honey? Jiang Xiaowei said as she leaned on Wei Liao's shoulder sweetly. Chapter 2301. Yeah, I agree with my wife. With Pudding's IQ and EQ, our family business will be even better than GK. Wei Liao said proudly. He seemed to be very satisfied with this marriage. You guys are thinking too much. It's just our parents' wishful thinking. It'll be great if they can stay like this when they grow up, but if one of them chooses someone they like, all our efforts will be in vain. Gao Ran reminded them. It's okay. Let nature take its course. It'll be great if it works out. Even if it doesn't, they'll still be very good friends. Jiang Xiaowei was very optimistic. All right, when are you two getting married? Hurry up and have a baby. Wei Liao joked as he looked at Tang Chuan and Qin Ning. Hurry up, don't worry. Watch me. Fuck off, don't talk nonsense. Qin Ning secretly stepped on Tang Chuan's foot under the table. Ouch, my lady, can you be gentler? Are you trying to murder your husband? With this pair of clowns around, the atmosphere was very good. Huamin suddenly remembered the couple beside him. When are you two planning to have a baby? Since you're still young, you can have a baby first and then rest for a while. Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. Chen Jie nodded shyly. Rick, what about you guys? When will you have good news? Tang Chuan asked Rick with a smile. Cici immediately felt embarrassed and stood up awkwardly. I need to go to the bathroom. Why are you running away? Geez, you're even thinner than our Ning Ning, Tang Chuan teased. Cici and I won't think about the wedding for now. We'll talk about it after we've dealt with some urgent matters, Rick answered seriously. Everyone continued to drink and drink. Huamin stood up. I need to go to the bathroom too. You guys drink first. When Huamin came to the bathroom, Cici was combing her hair. Sister Mion. Cici smiled dangerously when she saw Huamin. How are your wounds? Huamin asked. Very good, I don't feel any pain anymore. Even if I press lightly, it won't be a big problem. I'm still young, so I'll definitely recover quickly. Don't worry about me. Huamin nodded. Did Rick say anything about taking you to America? Cici smiled sweetly. Yes, I did. What do you think? Of course I want to be with him. To be honest, I've been living like a ghost without him for the past few years. Sister Mion, I'm not afraid that you'll laugh at me, but I really, really love Rick. I don't want to be separated from him anymore. So, I understand. What about your family? Did they agree to let you go abroad? My family is used to me being abroad, but my sister didn't agree. She was afraid that I'd be unfamiliar with the place. She tried to talk me out of it, but you know my temper. I'm willing to do anything for love. I'm even willing to give up my life. You might think that I'm a disappointment, but that's just who I am, Cici said without much confidence. She didn't even dare to look up at Huamin's eyes. Cici, don't be nervous. I'm not blaming you or laughing at you. I'm just worried about your safety. You should know what Rick does for a living, right? I know, he told me everything. Okay, then you should know how dangerous it is in America, where guns are legal, right? Huamin asked seriously. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.